Hello, my loves. So I just wanted to do a quick breakdown of the Bible study that I'm going to be using and my best laid plans that I have put into this planner. It's all pretty simple. It was not simple when I was building it because I don't think that I knew what I wanted. I had an idea of what I needed, but not completely what I wanted. And so I kind of went on a limb and chopped a bunch of different things to make this work. But before we do that, I want to get into this. So this is the Bible in 52 weeks. You can get this on Amazon. You can get this on Books A Million. You can get this at Barnes and Nobles. They will cost you $13, $14, $15. I actually got this one at Five Below. I had seen it for many, many, many months and had just never thought to get it. And then when I started thinking that I wanted to build this Bible study, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. And so I'm like, well, I'll just find one that's already done. I know that I wanted to do it in a year. And so I decided to get this. So it's the Bible in 52 weeks. It is a soft cover and it does not come spiraled. So I took this book to Office Depot. I think it was Office Max actually, but Office Max, Staples, Office Depot, you can take any book in and they will spiral bound it for you. I got this book and I got this book. The Women of the Bible Speak workbook, spiral bound. They did both of these books. It took them 2 days and they charged me a little under $8 together was the final price. And so I just prefer it this way because then whatever week I'm on, then I can just leave it open to that week, just grab and go. I think I prefer that versus constantly having to like flip back and forth. But I do want to explain to you guys how this one works. So it is a year-long study, 52 weeks. And so it does, in its contents, it does give you like week 1, and then it gives you a topic. Week 2, and then it gives you a topic. It's not to say that I didn't like it like that, because that's more than fine. I'm not big on having to read the Bible from start to finish in chronological order. I have done that in the past, and that's great if chronological is for you. I did want to tailor this a little bit more to what I felt my spiritual needs were. And so, like, for example, week 16 is stop stressing and start praying. And so all the information in that week will be relevant to that. So I think I actually made that my week 2. Because I felt like that's something that I wanted pretty early on in my Bible study. And so I decided that even though this is in order, I wasn't going to do it in order. I was going to do it based off what I felt was my spiritual need. And so a perfect example of that is this. So their week 1 is actually going to be my week 38. Whereas their week 51, if you love him, prove it, is going to be my week 1. So this is actually where I'm going to study. You can say hello to my cat. This is Hades. He's very, very attached to me and loves to be in all my videos. And so this is their week 51 is going to be my week 1. I think the only one that actually stayed the same is my week 52 and my week 52 and their week 52, which is access granted, because it does go over Revelation, and genuinely I always feel like that should be the last book. It is where it is supposed to be in the Bible for a reason, and that's how I'm going to read it. But I think that if I do this again next year, because my spiritual needs will change, I would like to use this book again, but I would like to use it again in a different order based off what I feel I need. And because of that, I'm actually not going to be writing in this book. So every week it tells you your daily reading. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. Day 7 is kind of a day off, or you can catch up on any readings that you've missed. It kind of gives you a little bit of a breakdown of how, like what all is in these daily readings. And then it kind of goes into points to ponder, and it gives you 3 different questions that you can answer. And then it gives you like a small prayer to say. I didn't want to write in this. And so for Christmas, Christmas 2025, one of the things that I specifically asked for was this notebook. And so it has this little rubber band on it. I can use this so I can track where I'm at. And it's just very simple. So it's just a notebook. And then I can, it's got a pocket up here. It's got a pocket in the back as well with some little flags that it came with. And it's just a plain notebook. And you can put the date and the memo. I can put what I'm writing. I'm also going to be using this for my actual Bible study. So I'll be answering these questions in here. And then I'll also be writing any additional points in here. I do have another video that has the Bibles that I'll be using, one for my devotionals and one for my Bible study, but all of that additional information that isn't going to go into my journaling Bibles is going to go into this notebook. I'm not really a person that likes to carry a lot of stuff with me. So the purpose is to kind of be able to leave that at home. If I'm just taking my devotional Bible with me, then I can just do that. But this area that I have set up here is specific for my Bible study only. And so these items will be the ones that will stay here all the time. So that's how we set this up. For me and my children. And then this is this is an A5 binder, planner binder that I got from Hobby Lobby. I waited until they were 40% off. It was $16.99, and then I got it 40% off, which was a plus. And then I also got this patch 40% off at Hobby Lobby as well, so I only paid like $2 for it. But this is kind of what I have in here. So this is my husband. These are Bible emergency numbers that I love. This bookmark. It's actually a bookmark. It says Bible emergency numbers, and it says like when in sorrow, John 14. When you have sinned, Psalm 51. When you are in danger, Psalm 91. When your faith needs stirring, Hebrews 11. When you need assurance, Romans 8, 1 through 30. And so I actually got this from my children's stepmom, who I love very, very much. Shout out to Brittany. Who has been such a blessing in my life, genuinely. I just have a little sticker that says Grace Upon Grace. I have 2 magnetic bookmarks. And then when I went up to visit my daughter, we ended up at a Christian store. I don't even remember where in Massachusetts. And they had all these little prayer cards given. It was the Catholic store, mostly Catholic. But for me, it doesn't matter. And so this is a prayer for those who live alone. This is the most important on earth, and it's talking about being a mom. This one is a marriage commitment. So it's a small prayer for us as a couple. This one here is talking about love, which we all know, 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, so on and so forth. And then this one, they had these. So this is my name, Ruth. And it is of Hebrew origin, and it means compassionate. And so it says, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. So when I saw this, I had to have it, not just because it's my name, but because my all-time favorite verse, a verse that I memorized when I was 6 years old, is actually Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And this is Proverbs 3, 6, which I thought was very, very fitting for me. So I absolutely had to have it because it just meant a lot to me. And so I just kind of have these here in case I need a little help praying, which is okay sometimes. This is a little bookmark that I actually hole punched. Blessed is the mother who lifts hearts lifts the hearts of her family through her understanding and caring ways, blesses the mother who shares her wisdom and guides her children to God, which is exactly what I am trying to do. I grew up very, very religious, and then I kind of stepped away for a while and then realized that this is where I need to be and this is what I need to be doing. And so that is what I'm doing. This is just some cardstock that I made into a dashboard and a little sticker from Stickability from Hobby Lobby. I think it was like $1.99 for the pack. And I'll go through all the stickers and stuff another day. And so this is why I told you that this is like a little bit of a Frankenstein notebook. And so I had bought a planner, but I also had an undated planner from last year that had like a habit tracker and an expense tracker and like a menu planner. It had all these things, like a mood tracker that I loved, but I wasn't using. And then I also had bought a Clever Fox like Bible study book journal from Amazon that I never used. But I didn't need all the pages in that one. I didn't need all the pages in the other planner. And so what I did was I ripped all the pages out of the both the planners, actually 3 planners. So it was 2 planners in a journal. And then I ended up buying the hole puncher from Hobby Lobby. It was $12.99. And I built my own planner. I Frankenstein'd this planner. So this came out of the first planner. So this is out of the Clever Fox Bible Study Journal. And I kept these pages because it is the Bible tracker. So it has Old Testament, and it's got Genesis and then all the chapters. It's got Deuteronomy and then all the chapters. Ezra and then all the chapters. So you can mark them off as you go. And then you've got Old Testament, New Testament. So you have Romans and all the chapters. So as I finish studying that book, I can sign off on my little chapters. And so it also has an area where you could put encouraging Bible verses when I am weary, scared, uncertain, lonely, anxious, sick, safety, guidance. And I kept this because ideally I would like to flag all of those text in my Bibles, in both Bibles, so that it's easy access, right? So anything that I put with scared, it could be like a red tab. Anything about when I'm anxious could be an orange tab. Anything when I'm seeking guidance could be like a green tab. And then it'll be easy to kind of find those texts when I'm feeling that sort of way. Did you see Hades jump into the picture again? And so these came out of the planner, but I did get these additional tabs at Hobby Lobby. It was a pack of 12 for I think $3.49. And again, I got them 40% off. So whatever 40% off is of $3.49 is what I paid. And I actually stuck them on top of the tab that was already there to make them jut out a little more because my pages were a little bit longer than the original tab that they had on them. And so this is just another one. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So this is from the original planner. And then it's just all I wanted was the calendar spread. That is all I needed. And the only reason I needed that was because I wanted to just put the way we were going to be studying the chapters. And so this is a perfect example. So like February 2nd, which is a Monday, which is when I'm going to be starting my week, instead of doing doing week 6 or week 5 in the Bible study week, I'm going to be doing week 22. But I can come up here. If I can't find it up here quickly, because there's a lot of tabs, I can just go in through here and then I can look for week 22. There we go. So week 22 is going to be actually week 6. So it'll be my week 6, their week 22, and the topic is going to be still. And we'll be reading out of Luke and Psalms. Same thing with what will be February the 9th. I'll be reading chapter 30. So let's go to their chapter 30, which is week 30, my week 7. And the topic is going to be his destiny, her purpose. And it's going to be out of John. All of the days are out of John, and so on and so forth. And so that's how I ended up writing out this entire thing. And so after your spread there, I have this. So this is a gratitude log. It came in my original planner that had the mood trackers in it, and I thought that this was really important to keep, and so I cut them all out and I kept them. And so I can also color these as well, and it is undated, so I can do that. I wanted to make sure I used what I had instead of buying something new, but I did make the decision already that moving forward next year, I'm probably gonna print my own undated ones instead of buying these journals, which I just had lying around. But like the Clever Fox journal was like $20. The other journal, the logging journal, was I think like $17. I got them both off Amazon. The planner itself that I used to cut these out of, I think was like $5 at Ross. But I don't want to waste all that money. So moving forward, I'm probably just going to print my own or create my own and then just print them. So these all came out of that log. So this has a monthly review, goals, action steps. And it says this month I achieved, what worked, what didn't work, do more of, do less of. And I think that's important to review every single month. Then the habit tracker, and I haven't written all my habits down just yet because this is going to be for January 2026. So I should probably actually do that. But one of my things will be in the morning will be my morning devotional. In the evening will obviously be the Bible reading. And then if I journal like throughout the day, those are all things that I'm going to do. I also end up keeping the meals and water tracker because one of the things that I want to work on this year is meal planning and financial literacy. So meal planning, it actually gives you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're supposed to be logging these on those days, but I'm actually going to use this to meal plan instead. And I should be sticking to that. It also has a water tracker, and I'm absolutely terrible at drinking water. So I'm hoping that maybe having a little bit of a water tracker will make me a better, more hydrated water drinker. So this is a monthly budget and planner. I'm actually not going to use this, but because it is on the back side of that water tracker, that water and meal planner, I have to keep it. I don't have a choice. And then a mood tracker. So every month it actually has a different type of mood tracker, which I think is so cute. So like for February, it's got little hearts. For March, it's got little top hats. For April, I think it was Easter eggs. Yeah, it has little Easter eggs, so I decided to keep that as well. And then the back page of the mood tracker is actually like the following month, which doesn't matter to me. So, but I had to keep it because I had the mood tracker on it. And that's what I'm talking about. Like I could have used one less page if this mood tracker would have been on the back of this meal planner, so on and so forth. And so next year I will be better prepared to take care of that. But January, February, March, April, May, June, July, all the months are in here, all the way into December. And so it's super simple. So I do not keep my entire life in this. I use a digital calendar for all my appointments and stuff like that. So this is simply going to be like a lifestyle thing. My mood, my food, my food, both physical and spiritual, are going to be in this. And so this is actually a pen that my kid's stepmom, Brittany, bought me. She gave me like a little bag, and it came with this. It came with the Bible emergency numbers. It came with this sticker, Grace Upon Grace. It came with this, it came with a magnetic bookmark as well. And the cutest pair of socks you've ever seen, which are in one of my favorite colors, which is like a lilac-y purple. So I wear them all the time since I got them. But this is just a breakdown of how I'm going to rule my life moving forward. And then this is the book that I will be using for my Bible study with my babies. So if that's something that interests you and you want to try your own or read along, you can absolutely do that. I think that it would be beneficial if you don't want to read along, you just want me to read to you, you can listen to that. I will eventually do like playlists where I'll put them in chronological order, so that you can read the Bible from the beginning if that's something you would like, or you can do it week by week. The way that I'm currently doing them, those will be in a playlist as well. So that's all I have for you. I hope that you join me on this journey.